Hello, everyone, and welcome to potentially the finale of Polyhedron Presents Trinity Continuum, Anima. I want to be...
Come on, I believe in you. You can do it this time.
You can do it.
Last time, you can do it.
Come on,
Do it, man.
Sedated?
Close enough.
Close enough. Hey!
Yes.
That's it. The game's over.
I want to be
We're done.
sedated.
Wrap it
Oh, we're done.
up. Matthew got it right. That's all we needed to do.
Shut it down.
All right, I'll see y'all later. Right?
Bye. No. Hello, everyone. Welcome. This has been a wild ride, and it's going to get a little bit wilder before it's over. But before we get into it, let's introduce everyone. So, Scott, go.
Hi, my name is Scott Kuban. My pronouns are he, him. I am a co-host of the Polyhedron podcast, and I also run an actual play studio, Simulacra Studios. You can find us on Twitch and YouTube at Simulacra TV. And I am playing Makhno, the anarcho-syndicalist revolutionary who is a part of the Aeon Covenant.
All right. Very exciting. Ryan, go.
Hi, my name is Ryan Jofesberg. My pronouns are he, him. And I am also one of the co-hosts of the Polyhedron podcast, and I am playing Hamish, one of the operators for the Aeon Covenant, whose leg really hurts right now.
Dixie, take it away.
Hi, I'm Dixie Cochran. I'm one of the co-hosts of the Onyx Path. But I also work for Onyx Path Publishing as an in-house developer and did some writing on Anima. I am playing Penelope Zavaruka, who goes by Poppy Zed, who is a streamer in the world of Terra Surge.
Ooh. And I am Matthew Malice, pronouns he, him. I am a co-host and producer of Polyhedron. I play Guy Bennitti, a researcher and scientist for the Aeon Covenant, who's very intrigued by what's going to happen here. But last but definitely not least, Eddy, who are you?
My name is Eddy Webb. My pronouns are he, him. I am one of the in-house developers in Onyx Path Publishing. I am one of the co-hosts of the Onyx Pathcast. I am the developer for Trinity Continuum Anima, and I am a lot to cover for this potentially last episode.
Also, I got so excited about saying about the Onyx Pathcast because it was a joke about the other podcast everybody was talking about that I forgot to say my pronouns are she, her. Sorry.
It's okay.
I was I had a joke in my head and I just ADHD'd right toward it. I was I have to say this thing.
Right.
It takes
My head, I have to
overall.
get out right now.
You have to commit to the bit.
But Eddy, I like just that he has all the titles, like a lot of these.
The developer.
The developer.
Just a developer. No,
The Eddy Webb.
the Eddy Webb. I own the industry. No. So previously on Anima, I Want to Be Sedated. The characters who are all members of the Aeon Covenant were asked by their boss, Connor Malone, to investigate the loss of a Anima named Hel Castro in Terra Surge. This turned out to be Jaden Reed, who ran afoul of the Shadows of Ending, which is a Griefers Guild. They tracked down Jaden Reed, and turned out Jaden Reed had something going on with their minds, which over time they discovered through the help of Dr. Adeline Calderon was actually something going wrong with their glass implants. Their glass implant was covered with a whole bunch of code from one of the NPC factions in Terra Surge known as the Jihad. After an interesting conversation with the Shadows of Ending inside of Terra Surge, the group decided to go ahead and participate in a raid against the Jihad to try to stop them from taking over or manipulating more people inside the game. Before that, however, the group was assaulted by 3 assassins disguised as janitors, 2 of which were killed, or at least killed themselves before they could be interrogated, but 1 managed to actually be captured alive. Before they could go ahead and interrogate the person, however, they did go into the raid in Terra Surge and managed to stop the Jihad from taking over any more player characters, including stopping 1 specifically. It looked like they're about to possess a character in front of them. They managed to stop that quest and gain 15 gold in the process.
Priorities.
So it was a good day all around. However, right before they could celebrate too much, spoiler tag went over the entire raid, and dozens of identical looking human warriors came into Terra Surge and started just mopping up the whole area. It's unclear as to whether this is something generated by the narrator AIs of Terra Surge, whether it's something that was done by the developers of the game, or perhaps even something that maybe the FSA themselves have done. But regardless, discretion was a better part of valor, and everyone logged the fuck off. And so now we come back to the lounge in the Aeon Covenant. It has been about an hour since he went in underneath. And so the characters are all looking at each other. It has been a very long day. Some of you are injured. You've seen some brutal fighting, both in the virtual world and in the real world. And as you all kind of stare at each other, there's no dialogue on the screen for a moment. We just see across the screen, Chapter 9, No Future.
Ooh.
What would you like to do?
Well, that helped.
That was crazy.
Ugh.
Should
I
we
think I
go
saw him eating somebody. That was weird.
update Connor? Talk
Yeah,
to
we
that
should-
janitor guy?
Yeah. We should see what
hopefully
they've...
they've gotten something out of those guys, and something is up with Jaden. I mean that something. I mean, we know he's been taken over by a Jahat,
Yeah, they have. Maybe.
and something
wrong with
in.
them?
I apologize. Things got rushed, but something I didn't share with you guys. That data stream, the Jahat code was sending it to II.
intelligence integrated?
Yeah,
Really?
Those bastards.
Huh.
Can
and
can you share that with me, please?
Yeah, I'll share the relevant data. Hamish, didn't you say that janitor that you were tussling with said something about being from II?
I kind of left my comms open while we were talking.
Yeah, I overheard it.
So I'll replay what he said.
Yes.
Like,
During the monologue, the janitor mentioned that the eyes had their eyes on Aeon Covenant for some time, and they've always thought them a potential security risk, and it's about time that, quote, something be done with all of you, unquote.
Also, all those janitors are giving people with cybernetic eyes a bad name, and I don't appreciate that.
It's true. It's true.
I think I have time to go back to my apartment for a minute.
You probably
That's
should
more of a
go.
question.
You should probably go with somebody needs to go with you.
Well, absolutely. But I'm wondering if do you think I have time before things get really bad?
I have no idea.
We don't know, man. We need. I say we check in with Connor and then make the call from there.
Yeah,
It's all right. Sure. Good
I'll
point.
just quickly go over the data that Makhno gave me just to kind of double confirm what he's assessed in this situation, and then go forward from there.
Okay. So make it back to Connor's office. Connor is sitting behind his desk. You could tell from his face that he's tired. He's probably had a long day. He probably hasn't slept yet. But yet somehow his suit is still perfectly immaculate. So even though in his face you can see a little bit of exhaustion, from his demeanor and from his clothing, it looks like he freshly got out of bed like that 10 minutes ago. And he goes, how did it go inside of Terra's Urge?
We tell him the breakdown.
Yeah.
I'm not going
Yeah.
to repeat it all.
It all checks out. These something to do with these Jahat. They're taking people over, or they're trying to. We put a stop to the current wave of it.
I
but-
don't understand though. It just if these NPCs or something with the code is wrong, or they have some sort of directive to take over, that they just don't do it all the time. It becomes a viral thing. This is more isolated. I don't understand the parameters of when it's supposed to happen.
I don't either. It doesn't make any sense. NPC shouldn't have that kind of free will. It's all programmed AI.
It shouldn't be possible. I mean,
It-
I can see
it's-
how it's possible, but
Well, I mean, that's the thing. They might not be doing this of their own accord. They may be doing exactly what they've been programmed to do by someone.
yeah. And then there's the advent of not just the spoiler tag, but then also the unnamed army has walked through cleaning up the situation for one reason or another. So
I'm assuming that even though the spoiler tags are going on, our own personal recordings pick that all up.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah,
I've shared.
You can share it amongst yourselves, but if you try to put it online, then it
Yeah.
will be slapped with the word.
Yeah. Also, yeah, it doesn't make any sense as far as the game goes. And also, I've seen glitches in this game before. I've been playing this game for years, but like never something that pixelated and shitty looking. Like it looks like a glitch from the 90s.
it's like it couldn't incorporate what the action was at all
Right.
on any level.
Which is very strange because the narrators are programmed to handle all of that. They should be able to make anything happen at any time. So the fact that they're not is incredibly concerning.
Yep. Currently, that is where we stand. Where we go from here, unless the operative that survived has given us information, we are kind of at
He has
a
not
loose
given
end.
us much. He says that first he was trying to be very macho about the whole thing, but we were able to convince him that it was in his best interest to work with us. He mentions only that his contact, his liaison, as it were, is a woman named Ruby Stedman, who I understand that you have some familiarity with.
She's been following me everywhere, and she's a goddamn ghost. And I like send over the file to him, like from what my lawyer got. I'm like, this is all the information my lawyer could get on her.
Well, I have a little bit more for you.
Thanks.
Anne has her own separate files. It seems like she does work for the FSA. Although it does seem that she was put on administrative leave by the FSA about a month ago, which is unusual. And since then, she has been heavily involved as a contractor for GUI Corp.
And Immersion Entertainment.
Immersion Entertainment is a shell for GUI Corp.
And following me to my house.
Yeah.
The other concern I have is one of our contacts has been looking into GUI Corp for some time. As one of the corporations that predates the Aberrant War, they have a certain amount of cachet, and perhaps not the power they once held prior to the war, but they are still around. And we do believe that some of that is because they have a for lack of a better term, shadow bank. They have stockpiled not only information, but also some Nova tech from the Aberrant War.
Oh, he immediately perks up and is like, really?
Uh-oh. That's never good.
He looks over at Poppy and is like, do you want to arrange a meeting?
Oh?
Yeah, I think this person is very dangerous. I mean, either they've gone rogue or put in a position of plausible deniability. For
Also,
what
like,
they're
my
doing.
parents are at GUI Corp. I don't want to deal with them. No.
But if she's the liaison to these people, she's up the chain of command. She knows more than this operative does.
Yeah, so do my parents, is what I'm telling you.
Oh, well, I mean, either one.
Did you want us to pick up your parents for this? Because we could.
I don't want to talk to my parents.
You don't have to
ever.
do any talking. I can talk to them for you.
What about Jaden? How are they doing?
I hate to say that Jaden is the glass has been damaged as a result of the incident, and we're in the process of trying to revive them, but it does not look good. They may be at best brain dead. They may not survive the night. We are trying our best.
Do you need me to? I can lend my assistance. I think it's important.
If you wish, but at the risk of sounding cruel, Jaden is just one person. If we can stop this event from having more people go through the same situation, there's a lot more people we can save now.
I saw someone go down in there. There's another person out there right now who has one of those things in their head.
Stop.
I think
we stopped.
They should still be found and observed.
We don't know who the partial. We don't know what a partial upload does. That might be worse.
He'll pull up he'll like take a moment and like pull up his own footage and get the screen name, basically get the name of that PC.
I think that's a heavy UI user.
Yeah, and then be like, okay, here's the information I got about this person. Maybe we can find them.
Okay. Just for expediency's sake, we're going to say that you look into it. That person's already posted on social media going, oh, that's such a weird event.
Yeah,
and blah,
that's
blah,
fine.
blah.
Yeah.
And I talk about bleep, 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 and all the stuff they're posting online. It's
I think they're fine.
but they're fine. Yeah. They're not acting in any way like the other disappearances.
I have that one dot of empathy. You know, I gotta exercise that sometimes.
You spent your one dot. You don't have to do it ever again.
Well, okay, so I'm gonna look at Connor and be like, what kind of power do we have to talk to these people? Like, what can we do at Aeon?
Officially?
Either.
officially, we have been asked by the FSA in any kind of situations to work with them to the best of our ability. And given recent events, they have sent me a message asking me to contact them in regards to the situation. I have told them that I will do so when I'm back in the office, which would be probably 2 days from now. If you get in trouble, I will do my best to get you out.
Noted. Well, Poppy, you may not want to talk to your parents, and you may not have to, but if they are prominent in GUI Corp and we have and inside they may have Novatech that may be involved in some way, we need to get in there.
So for context, this is something that all of you would know as Cascadians. GUI Corp is actually an international alcohol conglomerate. They have bought a bunch of different alcohol distilleries and companies over the decades, and have since become the corporation they are. They more or less own one of the downs in Cascade called North Shore. It is a small sliver of land between the mountain range and the bay, but they pretty much have that land. It's part of a land deed they had before the war that they were able to resurrect and exert, and the FSA has honored it. So they are not powerful in the sense of they're a huge mover and shaker, or they reshape Cascade. They're not that kind of, they're more old school power.
Yeah.
They have a small chunk of land, and they pretty much run that land. And the FSA could do something about it, but for the moment has decided they don't want the hassle. They have just enough of a legal claim that the FSA decided to honor that, even though it predates the FSA itself.
And depending on what may be shady in the background going on, we don't know.
Right. So if the FSA wanted to do off the book stuff, GUI Corp is a fantastic company to try to do that through.
So how do we hit them?
Getting there without some sort of access will be difficult.
I could cause a scene.
Cause a scene. We could, I mean, if your parents are involved, that is a potential point of vulnerability that we can exploit. They might want to bring you back into the fold now that it seems like you're getting too far off the leash.
I think it's more likely that they would believe that I would come there to yell at them about the whole Ruby Stedman thing.
That too.
And I would say that the Zavaruka name has some weight at GUI Corp. The average minion probably would not want to stop an irate daughter of two very powerful executives.
Can I? I had to reopen my Anima sheet for this. Can I call in the guild to get a DDoS attack on the building? On the corporation? 'Cause it says I can do that.
Yes.
Like the very last thing for a real world guild says create a DDoS attack on a company or government entity.
Yes. So I'll say that you pop back in. You ask your legions of fans, hey, can you go just harass this company? And I'm assuming some of your like higher level fans probably at least know who your real name and kind of figured out.
Oh yeah, they know who I am.
So they're like, oh, we get to harass your parents? We'd have to do this for weeks. It's because they're a little more old school. They're not as connected online, so it's going to be harder and it's going to be a shorter window. But they could probably get you about 5 minutes.
Okay, so I will tell them when to go.
Yeah.
I was also going to do something fairly similar to that. Call in my own special interest guild, which are a bunch of anti-fascist, bully boys. And basically, I'll compile the relevant data of everything that's been going on. Not like making definitive connections to things, but just like people are getting.
I'm just asking questions.
I'm just asking questions. All of the things like that is getting hit with the spoiler tags, like all the stuff that is trying to be hidden, as well as like the connections to II and all of that. Like, make your own conclusions sort of things. But I want this information out.
So the plan I'm envisioning, make sure I understand what I'm all doing right, is that Makhno's going to put a whole bunch of information out there, and just in the moment where GUI Corp would love to be online to refute that, then they're going to be hit with a DDoS attack.
Yeah.
Yes, and I am also going to be making a distraction in the building by harassing them and bringing my assistants with me.
And
I am going to go get my assault rifle.
Why don't you just? I think we just hand wave that you have that.
Yeah.
We'll just say you had that, yeah.
Oh, yeah. If not, I was just going to spend an inspiration to say that I was just going to go into my little secret stash that I've hidden under a couch in the break room, which is completely not okay.
You know what?
An assault rifle.
Don't even spend the inspiration, but let's do that scene anyway, because I just think that's cool. And we're going to the big wrap up scene, so sure, just go ahead.
Yeah, and what I will bring with the situation is he pulls out his visor thing is and if there is Novatech in that building, this will find it.
Cool.
All right, I'll be right back. He kind of saunters over to the break room right down the hall from Connor's office, and he just turns the couch
upside down,
the one he was sleeping on up, and you just see two slim black cases, and he picks them up, and he just kind of puts his leg out and pulls the couch back down. It's figure we can get these in, right? Well, they won't be having time to X-ray us. That'll be fine.
What you would see is underneath there's actually a small box full of gold coins for some reason. You know,
there's a stack of 5 of them in each case just in case.
Yeah.
I just put them in my hand. You see, these are my secret weapons. They're very heavy. So he goes about assembling his M16.
Ooh,
a classic.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and kind of go through what I think sounds like your plan is.
Yep.
And then feel free to kind of correct it, but otherwise we'll just narrate our way through, because again, it's kind of like a leverage style. We're going to do a heist. Again, we zoom out and we see the map. You're wearing Barnaby down, and there's a little kind of dotted line as you make your way to North Shore. We zoom back in, and as we're pulling up to GUI Corp, there's it's a big, kind of intimidating building. It's only a few stories tall, but it's lots of older, almost brownstone to it. And then there's a big green fence, solid fence all around with double doors in front of it. And you drive up to the guard, and the guard starts to challenge you, but then Poppy is just don't you know who I am?
Yeah.
And say, oh, Mr. Voger, I'm sorry, and let you in the car go in. And then as you try rolling by, Makhno pulls out sends a call out to, I'll say phone, but I realize you use your glass. Uses the glass to contact you and says, now send the data. So we cut to a bunch of people furiously typing on keyboards, and then all of a sudden, as you start walking into the building, people start glancing over and touching their heads as you see people suddenly the lights are popping up, screens are popping up in front of people. Everyone's suddenly very, very distracted. And then as they're about to start to, you see some of the security guards who are also acting as cybersecurity. They're pulling up screens, and the screens just start going white. And they're trying to actually go to hardware keyboards and pulling up old screens, and everything just seems like it's not working. You can make your way through the lobby. There's a huge kind of the GUI Corp logo, and there are elevators, and there's also stairs to the side. And you decide being trapped in the elevator is probably a terrible idea, so you make your way to the stairs, and you start to go up the stairs, and lights flicker and turn to red in the staircase as you do see that we're under some kind of cyber attack. Please stay in your offices.
Question: did we get to see us doing a slow-mo walk across the lobby, looking awesome?
Absolutely.
All the chaos was happening around us. Okay.
Absolutely.
That's all that matters.
You are all looking very much like you own a place, which in at least one of your cases is more true than not. So you're now kind of on your staircase, making your way through the building. Is there anywhere particular you want to hit?
Actually, this is
assuming you have a relatively a rough idea of where everything's at between Poppy's information and just maps you could find online.
Well, something I think may be extremely relevant right now. Let me pull it up real quick. Because I have the scanner, it has a thing called Mysterious Archaeology, which helps me sense out and find things that are source made. Basically, Novatech, inspired technology, super science, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Your scanner tells you that there's a big source of weirdness about a few hundred meters above you. So you look at some maps, you double check with Poppy. It looks like it's about 6 or 7 floors up.
Yeah. He's like doing this and what limited data he can do by interfacing with the network essentially. And then he's like, this is where we need to go. It is
I'm also
4 floors up.
Okay. I'm also recording every single thing on my Bionic guys. Like I am just doing a first person recording this whole time.
Are you trying to broadcast this?
No, I'm trying to save this for personal use for right now.
Are you sending copies to all of your allies?
Sure, yeah. I'll send backups to these 3, but no, it's not public information. This is more information to give to like Aeon in case we see something and then get kicked out, or in the event of our deaths, this will be uploaded to Aeon.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Okay, I can say you put in a small key, like hey, if my heartbeat falls below this range for 30 seconds, beam this to Connor's office.
Dead man switch.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So you make your way upstairs, and after 6th floor, you do see a sign that says research and development. So you make your way through the door. There's a hallway that immediately goes to the left and right. So you open the door up, and it's not a hallway in front of you, but rather it immediately becomes a T. And there are doors and signs everywhere. There's lots of like painted lines on the wall, but also through your glass, you see there's lots of floating arrows and signage and whatnot. A couple times when you look at a door, there's the glass will actually put like an X over it. It's like you don't have security clearance kind of thing. A couple of times you actually you'll glance at the door, and like out of the corner of your eye, you see like there's a door handle, but you look at it, you can't see a door handle on it. So there's something going on with the local network that's actually slightly modifying your perceptions. Which
like that.
Guy does not know of any software that can cause someone externally to force you to change your glass perception. That is something that ostensibly should be opt-in.
They have overridden glass perception. We have to be very careful because what we see, what we hear may not actually be real.
Almost like you all finally realized that my parents do in fact suck.
Yeah, I'm getting
No one
there.
ever was doubting that.
I never argued it for a moment.
I'm just saying.
I'm very sorry, and I
mean,
really
really
did know
shitty.
my parents, but
I mean, I have a more intent to cold cock your father
All
in
right.
the face.
So,
but,
so
I mean,
let's tread very carefully. Eddie, what can I roll to see if I can override this or make a compensation for it? Because it's got to be sending signals into my glass to make me think this.
This is going to be a technology situation. I've been hand waving enigmas a little bit, but this is very much you have to know how this stuff works.
Yeah.
Also, is any of my infrared stuff helpful up here? Or is that...
Your infrared seems to be working fine.
Okay, so I can at least see if there's like people in the rooms and stuff like that.
Yes, and you do see there are a few people around. Nothing, because of the way that the walls are a bit thicker and there's lots of things like soundproofing and lead and whatnot to prevent external spying. So you can't, the heat signals are very diffuse, but you're a little bit used to trying in this building before. You've seen this before. So it's like, this is roughly a person. You can't tell who it is or what they're doing, but okay, there's a person over here, there's a person over here. So it's not as specific as before, but you can compensate for it to a degree just because of your familiarity of this space.
Okay.
All right. So I'm using technologies. And can I use my specialty, Nova Age?
Is it a technology specialty?
No, well, remember, specialties don't add directly to it. No, it's a humanities.
That's why I'm asking, because I'll make sure you weren't actually doing it.
Specifically, it's a humanities.
Yes. Nova will work.
Great. And then how much momentum do we have, guys?
Yeah,
3?
3.
Okay. I may need it, so we'll see.
I feel like your momentum funnel.
Yeah.
To his credit, he also put 2 back in. So
I mean, true. I'm just saying.
Good. It's 3. I want to use 1. Is that okay?
Do it.
Go for it.
Okay. That's a total of with enhancement 5.
okay. So you start kind of thinking through the problem and also doing a close examination of the doors themselves, and you realize that the problem is not as concerning as you first thought. When you look closely at some of the door handles, you see that they actually do project. It's similar to like when you walk by a street with second class glass and you get those pop-ups. It's in the same kind of technology, but really, really advanced and refined. And it's also specific to where if you walk to at a certain angle, it will beam a look of like there's no door handle here. When you get really close to it, you see the handle again. So it's once you see the trick stops working.
Right. Because it can only happen at a certain place at a certain angle. Like it can't be universal all the time. It can't rapidly compensate for your own sensory input.
Right. But if you're just kind of walking down a hallway and it's like, oh, I'm trying to find a door. Oh, hey, there's no more handle here. So I'll just get that door and move on.
Right.
The other thing you do notice, however, because you have 5 successes, is that one of the offices looked like it had a blank nameplate and no handle, but it turns out it does have a handle. And the nameplate does say Dr. Jonathan Severuka.
Dr. Severuka.
Who is your father.
I didn't know he was in R&D.
Don't know
Neither
what
did
they
Poppy.
do anymore.
So is that where the source is coming from?
Yes.
Great. Awesome. Y'all want to meet my dad?
Yes, actually. Surprisingly.
Let's have a talk with that.
I'll
your
watch
old
it.
dad.
I'm going to watch the door.
Okay. Who's opening the door?
Your father's jaw is safe for now.
I think one of you should go in first and talk to him.
Makhno?
I think
I will gladly.
You want
open
to
that
see?
door.
You want to see Makhno bust through your door?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
don't
I
want
wanna
to see
see.
me.
yeah.
Are you going to punch through the door, just open the door, kick it in?
I'll try the handle.
Okay, try the handle. You grab the handle and suddenly an arc of electricity runs through your hands
Naughty.
and you're bruised.
I swear to God, I didn't know about that when I tried to tell Matt
That's
to go in
rude.
first.
And I'll just like stretch my bionic arm and just punch the door in.
Okay. The door folds like a cheap house of cards. That was the one thing. So you get inside and you see there are no lights in the room. There is floor to ceiling glass and the other end of the room, so you can kind of see out over the city. You can see the lights of Cascade out in the distance. There is a desk in front of that and a figure sitting behind the desk. Looks to be motionless, but there are no lights in the rooms. You can't really make out the figure.
Does the figure glow in infrared? Is the figure alive?
It is very faintly glowing in infrared. And actually, Poppy, I'll say that since you've recently seen death up close, it looks like this is someone who is cooling rapidly. They're probably dead or dying.
That's a live one in there.
Hmm.
Okay, you want to go check it out?
Yeah, I'll go check it out.
Okay.
I'll see if I can get the lights on.
I'm keeping watch.
So Guy goes to turn the lights on and you hear click, click, click. Nothing happens.
Great.
Makhno steps forward and you see an older man. Looks like he's probably in his mid to late 40s, early 50s. He's sitting at the desk and there is a very large knife sticking out of his chest.
Ooh.
Oh shit.
Hamish, you're looking around because you're suspicious, and you do notice that there's a little bit of movement in the corner. It's hard to make out. It's almost like your eyes don't want to look in the corner.
Oh,
He would have told you about the trick they're using.
Right. Yep.
I'm going to have to approach.
Yeah,
Is this my dad?
It is your
Is it? Okay, so Poppy is going to start crying because, like, her parents suck. She didn't want them dead, you know?
Yep.
So she's just.
you hear Hamish messages silently to all of you. It's like this. Hey, I'm really sorry about this, but you're definitely going to want to cover your ears. And I light that corner up.
Okay.
An automatic. I'd go full auto.
You tear into the corner. The room lights up. And a lot happens in a moment. From Poppy's perspective, the light kind of flashes across the face of the man, and she realizes it's not quite her father. And in fact, it almost like you'd see around the sides of the face and under the jaw, there's a slight discoloration. You've been in enough streams, you know how makeup works. It looks like he's almost wearing a mask or latex over his face.
That's weird.
Makhno, in the flashes of light, he's covering his ears, and he sees that the knife in the chest is not like a handheld knife. It looks like actually it's like almost like a solid sliver of metal that broke off at the ends that was shaped into a knife. Guy manages to again puts his hands over his ears as kind of glancing over, and his scanner's going wild as soon as the bullets start plinking off of the target. Hamish, however, is very focused in that corner. Bullets start bouncing off, and you can see very clearly a shape of a person. Their whole body looks like it's covered in almost kind of a chitinous armor. It's an ivory colored, it's not metal, but it certainly seems to cover the whole body. And also there's another set of arms underneath the first set of arms.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
Oh no, arms.
Too many arms.
Does it look like a real life Quell or something?
From Guy, literally, it's like the scanner went from nothing to exploding as soon as those bullets hit. So there's probably some kind of stealth field.
Something going on. There's what you want to do?
Let's go to initiative.
Yeah.
But I figured it's like,
Oh no.
I'll gladly ask for a threat assessment, but I don't think there's time.
So it's the lower or dex plus cunning or cunning plus athletics or dexterity plus empathy.
Empathy, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a weird set of combinations.
Roll.
I get it.
I do too.
I get
makes
one.
sense.
I too get one.
Okay.
You're up.
One.
Okay. Well, I got 5. So basically the NPC and then y'all get to go. Decide how you go.
Oh man, I'm gonna get beat up.
The creature.
Question mark?
Oh, there's a guy in there.
The face slides. The plate over it slides up, and you do see it is Ruby Stedman. And she says, "You're ruining everything. Why couldn't you just take the money and the bribes?"
Your orange hat was stupid.
And then out of the ends of her, basically, she puts her hands up, and then like guns actually pop out of 2 of the hands, and then the bottom arms, one knife slides out of the left arm, and a chunk of a knife slides out of the right. And they look a lot like the knife in the chest of the person sitting at the desk. And so because she has multiple limbs, which is her source power, because she is a source user, she is going to spend 1 action to try to shoot Hamish and 1 action to try to shoot Makhno.
Oh no.
Not shootings.
Split her dice pool.
All right, I'll roll for my defense.
Yeah, roll your
Oh,
defenses.
yeah, probably do that.
Um,
Hey, that's
4
not
on
bad.
each of you.
2.
4.
Okay.
I would also like to activate a skill trick. Not a skill trick. It's the chess master, which basically lets all of my allies get my one of my facets, which they're all 1, in addition to their defense.
Oh, cool.
So we
Yay.
basically
That pushes
plus one
Hamish
to
from
that.
4 to 5, which is exactly what he needed.
Yep.
Perfect.
I got what did I roll here?
People watching the video as the cascade slowly dissolves.
Yeah. Also, if
Yeah.
I do this, my tattoo like goes away.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
kinda
Actually,
like
you becomes like the background.
Yeah.
Your tattoo actually changes.
Sweet.
Oh no.
Yeah, and I got one success on my defense roll, so defense of 2.
So I'm going to say Makhno's chess master, basically he actually kind of grabs Hamish and yanks him out of the way. But that means that Makhno opens himself up for the attack.
You took a bullet for me, my dude.
I know.
So you're going to take 1 bruised to inflict damage. And she's going to use the impact to knock you down. So you're knocked prone.
I am knocked down.
Okay, so now it's all of us, right?
Yes. Now you can, in whatever order y'all want to work.
Quick, just as a general assessment, where, can I just get a general description of like where everyone is in relation to each other? Like, is she close?
So here's you came in through the door. The right of the door is the corner where she was standing.
Okay.
You and Makhno now in front of her. So you're basically all by the front door. Poppy is in front of the desk, which is further in. And Guy is on the other side of both of you. So basically it's Ruby, both of you, Guy, Poppy.
Right.
So
Poppy's the closest to the desk.
Space.
I'm farther back behind you guys, and you guys are the closest to the corner where where Ruby is.
Correct.
Okay.
I was going to do more of like an info diagnostic thing and not an action, like a combat action.
Well, you go ahead and do that. And maybe depending on how that goes, that could add momentum. That could
you could do a whole bunch of things.
So you do your info thing unless someone else wants to do something.
Now that I can kind of see her, and she's obviously wearing either advanced cybernetics or something even more drastic.
This does not look like cybernetics.
Okay, so I just want an assessment of what this is and how we may be able to take her down.
Sure. What do you got?
I've got, what do you want? I've got enigmas. I've got technology.
Oh, I thought you had like a gift or something.
No, I don't. I have digital archaeology, which is the stuff that let me see it.
So go ahead and make a technology roll.
Sure.
You can use your Nova Age specialization.
Cool.
However, you've never seen this before, so difficulty will be 5.
Yeah, that's fine. I will attempt to do it. This is science. Okay, yeah, I don't get my it's not enigmas, so I don't
think I'm going to get her monologuing, guys.
No, probably not.
I think she'll resist it.
Wish me luck. What did you do?
Drum roll.
Can I use a momentum?
Sure you can, bud.
Of course, buddy. Here you go.
He doesn't know the name of this episode, but he knows how to ask for momentum.
Yeah.
The catchphrase. Can I use a momentum?
Real good.
Unfortunately, I only got 4, so came up short.
The only thing that comes to mind is that this is a suit powered by a person. So maybe if you can get the person to off her game or get her to enrage her or something.
Yeah.
Can be something like that. But
yeah, that's about as I got. Poppy hurt her feelings.
You have command stuff, Poppy.
Yeah, I mean, I did tell her that her hat was stupid.
We gotta get her. We gotta throw her off her game.
Well, the first thing that Poppy wants to do is get behind the desk for a minute here and see who the frick this person is. So she's gonna try to like duck down behind the desk with the body, and peel off the mask or wipe away the makeup, like whatever is going on with that.
Okay. It is a mask. It's latex mask.
That looks like my dad.
Yes, it does.
It's fucking weird. All right.
And underneath, you see someone who looks like Jaden. Weirdly enough.
Wait, that looks like who?
Jaden.
Oh, Jaden. Okay.
Oh.
Jaden was.
And now that you're close to the body, also, it's one of those things like now that you're seeing it, it increasingly looks like your dad. Like it's a lot thinner. No, I'm not as heavy. Just like the hands aren't as how men's hands over time get kind of veiny and a little bit of wrinkles around like the knuckles and whatnot. None of that's happening. So this was it's just either somehow Jaden somehow got from Aeon Covenant to here in time to get makeup on and then killed, or someone just looks a lot like Jaden.
Also, Jaden was in a coma last time that we heard about them, and possibly brain dead. So this is very confusing.
Right.
Also, why are there latex masks of my father? That's strange.
Right.
Close.
Something strange is happening here.
Does the knife look like it's steel, or does it look like it's something different? Since
It does look something different.
this suit is made of weird shit.
I'm assuming you do not want to touch it.
I
or
kinda
do you
did
want to
touch it?
Huh?
I was gonna pull it out and use it as a weapon because
okay.
I felt like it might work.
Dixie, you and I think a lot alike.
That's a good idea.
You pull it out. There is a tingling sensation. So it feels like it's almost warm, not like in a burning sensation, but rather like it's almost like it's alive.
Oh. Anybody else good at using tingle knives? Because I am not. That is not my skill.
I got my wrist knife, but a tingle knife might be fun.
This one's fucking weird.
Go for I'll reach out.
I like slide it across the floor to Hamish.
You never have too many knives.
And yeah, I figure that's probably my actions for this round. I did a bunch of stuff. I can yell at her later.
Okay.
How much momentum do we have?
You have one.
Okay. Does the group
Unless you wanna
mind if
fail.
I spend that to give us target number 7 against this person?
Please do.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll do
I
that.
think
that's a good use of momentum.
Yeah.
I'm just a guy,
I will
but-
do that. I'd also like to spend a point of inspiration for a bit of dramatic editing.
Ooh.
As I'm like knocked down on the ground, I'm like, I get this strange perspective on the room, and I see like under the desk, it looks like a paranoia backup drive.
Okay.
like something that is specifically put there, like if my office gets raided and all my important shit goes, I have this backup drive that people won't notice. So there is one there.
If I can riff off that,
Sure.
that's definitely there because you paid point for it. You do also see that there is a bomb next to it, but it has not been activated. Like someone could have blown this place up if they wanted to.
Fantastic.
But you can immediately kind of just stop that before it from happening.
Yeah.
But yes, you also have a backup drive of stuff.
Yeah.
Which is
so I'm
probably not
like-
at all incriminating stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Lovely incriminating data. So yeah, I will like scramble back behind the desk, like grab both of those items, and slide the bomb over to Hamish.
Okay. So now you have a
We're
knife
all
and a
behind the
bomb.
desk now.
Yeah.
I have a knife bomb.
Oh, great idea.
Knife
So
bomb.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a point of inspiration for an intuitive action
Okay.
to pick up that bomb, throw it in her face, and then shoot that bomb.
Are we going Jaws on this?
Yeah.
Yeah, why
We need
not?
a bigger boat.
I think he did. I think he does have a bigger boat.
What does the intuitive action do for you?
I just add my intuitive facet to an enhancement to an action
So
that
you're,
is.
so you're just adding your intuitive
Yeah.
facet dots
Yeah,
to
to
the
quick
Also, how
thinking.
close are you all to this bomb?
We're all pretty close, so this is gonna be a thing.
Yep,
Hey,
that's why
you
it's
know.
intuitive.
There is also a dramatically large window behind you.
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
that is
fantastic. And it's a win it.
All I see is like super cyber monster, and it's like I can't take that in a fist fight.
true.
So, what would you like me to roll for this?
What about a knife fight?
What about a bomb
If
fight?
she survives this and I survive this, we'll
A
have one.
bomb to a knife fight.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Let's call
If,
it.
you got, okay, if everyone's not okay with me blowing up,
No,
No,
go
go
for it.
right ahead, dude.
It's
This is
awesome.
awesome.
Let's
'cause
call
I
it
can hit it to her
dexterity.
with the knife. Like
Aim
that was
dexterity.
the aim plus dexterity.
Yep.
Oh.
And you can add obviously the enhancement you paid for with your inspiration, but also the enhancement from the gun.
Yeah.
And your target number 7.
Oh
Target
my
number
god.
7.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
This gun is really good at shooting bombs.
It's
Where'd
almost
your
designed
bombs?
for this.
I'm gonna be like, I remember the day Hamish blew me out of a window.
We all remember that day very
No, you don't,
fondly.
because we're all dead.
Someone
you don't remember any.
someone dramatically edit a hovercraft or a
I have a
Zeppelin.
hover cycle.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Okay, so that's just the pool. And then
I'm just imagining like if you've read the Matt Fraction Hawkeye comic where he's falling out of the window and he's like, "This is not how I expect the day to go." You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like Makhno's thing because that made this so much worse for her. So that's going to be a total of 8 successes.
Okay.
By the way, guys, this is exactly what Hamish was built to do. This is
Yeah,
all
it's
he's
true.
built to do.
Da-da-da-da.
Point dudes.
So the bomb goes through the air. Hamish takes his ridiculously large gun and somehow gets a massively perfect shot and actually aims the shot so well that the bomb slightly spins in midair. So that way the force of the explosion is primarily focused on her because it is a targeted explosion. It's not
That's a claymore.
right.
Oh, God.
Front towards enemy.
Turns out the bomb was not to destroy evidence, it's also to destroy whoever's in front of the desk trying to take the evidence.
Right.
So the armor gets the full blast of it. She does happen to, the faceplate slides down, which makes you suspect it's possibly a reactive thing. Maybe just like, oh, there's an energy blast. I have to put my faceplate down. So faster, she probably reacted. But huge chunks of the armor are just blown off of her. You see sparks flying everywhere. There's blood pouring down the sides of the suit. So you have obliterated the armor itself. She is still alive and active. But you have blown off her two of her extra limbs, which turned out were just purely robotic. And then the actual armor itself is damaged. She still has two guns in hands and she's still up. And it is her turn.
And after that, I'm glad it was a directional explosive. That would have hurt.
As we're all like,
I'm like behind the desk.
we're probably still like blown back slightly because it's not perfect, but
Right.
it's just like
That was very loud, what just happened.
Yeah, I mean, it's loud, but just because your talents and whatnot, it's going to be a negligible amount of damage.
it's an action movie.
You have like cuts on your face for some reason, you know. So,
little trickle of blood.
Right,
I just looked at Hamish going, "What the hell?"
And I just winked at you.
She's not happy with that at all. Very unhappy.
Fight me, you coward.
You're a coward. Let's see. Assessing the room, it looks like Hamish is probably the most dangerous person.
What? You think?
Well, there is a shotgun. There is like an empty machine gun and a shotgun like strapped to me and a pistol in my hand. So yeah.
So
you just threw a bomb in her.
And I threw a bomb at her.
Are you left or right-handed?
He would be firing left-handed because his right arm is the cybernetic one.
Okay, then she's going to shoot your left hand because she has the perfect aim edge, which means that she can target a specific area and get +1 to the effect.
All right.
She's trying to disarm you.
In a very literal sense, yes.
We already disarmed her, so.
I wish she got sevens. That would be
De-armed
nice.
Well, hey, we know she's on Nova.
Thank God for yes. I'm throwing an aberrant at you just because I want you
Yeah,
to.
that would go so well.
And the game's over! Hooray!
I've already lived this life.
Have you rolled your defense?
Psychokinetic then.
Have you rolled your defense, Ryan?
3. Yeah, it's a 3.
She got a 5.
Isn't this a ballistic weapon? She's actually shooting a gun at me.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
If you had anything in your left hand that gets shot out,
Bye bye.
you're gonna take another injury condition from your hand, and you are now at +1 to buy the inflict damage done when you're using that hand.
Gotcha.
Okay. And she is going to throw something at Poppy.
Oh, I have a quick question about armor because I do have some hard armor from a jacket that I'm wearing, but because she aimed the shot, does that actually matter or does it?
No, because you aim shot, no. But
Okay.
generalized damage, you'll peel off the hard armor first.
Okay, cool.
And she's going to throw something at Poppy and just snarl. It's like, why? Just let you fucking die, you and your whole family.
Poggers.
Pogger.
Twitch
Ruby is
things.
sussy.
A hard object wings by your head and goes through the window. She's bleeding a lot. She's not in a good mood. Not great.
Okay.
Also, I may have botched.
Yeah,
What we like to hear.
you
Yep,
love it. We
yep.
love to hear it.
I don't want this to even be relatively fair to her. Like, being honest.
You have cyber armor. Yeah.
PC slots.
I would like to start. I
Go
would like
right
to stand
ahead.
up. I would like to start broadcasting what's happening
Okay.
to the public at large, and just hey Ruby, you wanted to sponsor me? You're on my channel right now, and just start like walking towards her, like, hey, Poppyfield. If I die, it's this bitch. This bitch did it. I am inside GUI Core right now, where my parents work. This bitch just killed somebody. And God knows what's going on with this armor, but it doesn't look right to me. What do y'all think? And
It looks pretty fucked up.
just start walking toward her,
Nice.
filming everything.
So here's what I'm going to say. You can make persuasion roll. Persuasion commands, whichever you feel like you're doing more of. And you can add your fame dots to this because now your fame suddenly becomes a very big factor.
Nice.
You've weaponized how people like you, people like you.
Shouldn't have took the mask off, lady.
It's true.
Oh, you kind of blew it off her face.
That is
Kinda
true.
did.
Fame dots. I can't use my skill trick though because someone took all the momentum. No.
Well, you get the first one. You do get what you
Yeah, first time you use skill trick in a scene, you can use it for free. So
Okay,
can use
fine.
skill
In that
trick.
case, fine. I'm adding 2 more dice.
Yeah.
I am rolling exalted dice here. Like,
that's
Yeah.
amazing. I love it.
Talent sometimes can just do a thing.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because target number
8.
7, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a very exalted roll. 8. 8 successes.
Okay. So you have a couple of stunts available to you. For 2 successes, you can make this bitch famous, which means that this information will now get out to everyone in Cascade.
Okay.
And then for 5 successes, you can buy GUI Corp makes a sudden change in direction.
I have to choose one of these?
You can buy both if you want
I can
to.
do both.
I'm just letting you know what's up to do.
I want to do both of them. I want to make
Okay.
this bitch famous, and I want GUI Corp to realize the error of their ways. So maybe I have something salvageable to inherit in 20, 30 years.
Okay. But that's your action.
Yeah.
You won't obviously won't have an immediate effect.
Yep.
Yeah.
but
No. that's part of my action. I understand it's not going to
The
happen.
only
like
thing you notice is she starts slapping something on her wrist, which starts shooting up sparks. Like she was
like
trying
a
to
self-destruct
A
button?
jammer.
self-destruct button or a jam or something, whatever it is, ain't working. That's for sure.
Okay.
Who goes next?
Did the window break, by the way? Did it
Yes,
shatter?
it did like a small hole in it, but
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like when you like throw a rock through a window.
right, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't care who goes next. Anybody want to go next?
If anyone has any thoughts or feelings, if not, I will just try to throw her through that window.
Go for it.
Sure. Go right ahead.
So he's just gonna run up on her and try to. I guess this will just be a straight up close combat check, and he's gonna try to, I guess, grapple and push
Okay.
her into the weakened spot on that window. Since we're all kind of nice and close to each other.
I will make sure to include on the broadcast that she did kill a person.
You did.
Thank you,
I heard
because
that.
you
I'm
did.
about to commit murder on stream.
Yeah, great. That's why I'm trying to establish it as self-defense.
Oh,
I look like I've been a little hurt. It's fine.
Hamish, do you have a Covenant Bond?
I do.
You can blow that for a 2 enhancement on a single roll, since this seems
Well,
like a
this
pretty,
is the one.
pretty
So we got enhancement. We got all kinds of enhancement on this roll.
because I was looking stuff up and
Mhm.
seemed like a pretty
Appreciate it.
badass
It's-
moment.
This is definitely the badass moment.
I'm so excited that it's like live and screens across the
Oh,
city
yeah.
right now.
Let's see. Let's activate another one of them. Wait, is the enhancement limit 3? Or is
Enhancement is 3 per source.
per source?
Yeah,
Okay.
per source.
Ah,
Well, and since we
Unless it's scale.
getting towards the end here, gonna activate inspiration again for another intuitive action.
I love
this
it.
is pure instinct to hurl her through a window. 'Cause that's not normal people.
Talents are amazing when
I
they
could
start
have
going.
acted my destructive facet since I'm destroying her life, but
Hmm.
Let's see, so that makes it 2 plus.
I just wanted
2.
to, I just took all mine at one because I wanted as much inspiration as possible.
I think that lands me at 7.
And your goal is you're not trying to damage her, you're just trying to shove her out of
just bodily remove her from this area through that window.
Okay.
Hans Gruber.
Yep.
So basically, as Poppy,
We're only on like the 6th floor.
That could
I
still
know,
kill
it's just a lot less impactful
He's
than
making
Hans
an
Gruber.
assumption that this might not kill her, actually, which is kind of like, well, she's got armor on.
And she's probably a talent or something. So
I could probably
I
survive
hit the
this.
deck as the body flies over me.
So Poppy starts dressing down Ruby, and she's slapping at her armor and clearly visibly getting frustrated. Like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill all of you. And she starts rushing towards Poppy. And Hamish manages to redirect her energy and judo throws her basically over the desk through the window. And you hear crash and a crunk. We're going to go out of combat because this is down. We're not.
Yeah.
You rush over to the window and you see a couple of GUI Corp cars pull up and guards come out. They look up and see you. They look down at her, and you see, like, for a moment she's starting to move, and then they just pull out their guns and start just shooting her.
Oh, hey,
Yo.
oh, back up into the room.
We just disappear.
Homer.
Yeah.
Do you broadcast that, Poppy?
Yeah. I'm just still rolling, so whatever they're doing is happening.
Okay.
I mean, I want Gibby Court to make a change, so murdering people in broad daylight is not something
I
want them
will
to do.
immediately pick up, because now that there are guards here, trying to see if I can access the local network and pulling files.
I'll hold up the backup drive.
We should go.
Yeah.
You get a message from Connor going, "You should go."
We're leaving.
So, like fire exit, like whatever kind of back way we can get out of here.
You actually see him slap a button on his braces for his legs, and he's suddenly now moving extremely quickly.
Hamish also surprisingly a free runner.
Yeah.
Poppy like pulls up her like hoodie and like tightens it. Sunglasses.
IX security cover cars pull up as well. The GUI Corp officers start pulling out their credentials. You overhear bits and pieces as you sneak off the effect this person infiltrated our facility. We were within rights to protect ourselves. They had hostile intents. Clearly, they were not only had weaponry, but also looks like they're trying to talk their way out of this. As you make your way through, Poppy definitely is checking social media. Social media is going berserk. GUI Corp has immediately put out a statement disavowing all knowledge of Ruby Stedman. They have canceled the contract for immersive entertainment. And they show respect and appreciation for someone of Ms. Averuka's character to bring this information to light so that they can make positive change in the future. It's all PR fluff nonsense, and it's not playing well at all. As you make your way back to the Aeon Covenant, you're also checking the files on the disk, and a couple of interesting things. So you start debrief with Connor as well. So we're kind of moving into the closing montage of the episode. The files start popping up, and you do see information about what's called a Jahat incursion. It seems that Ruby, as well as probably Jaden, were actually taken over by these Jahat creatures somehow. And Ruby was trying to create immersion entertainment to spotlight and find new people for future, what she called acquisition.
Oh, they wanted to acquire me.
They wanted to turn you into whatever these things are, and you did not play along, and they didn't like that. The other thing is some secret files. They seem to date back to before the Aberrant War. And it's really hard to read. There's some corruption. There's been lots of transfer errors, but it does look like it was an old program around 2030 of a Nova that was able to replicate themselves repeatedly, so that multiple copies of them existed simultaneously. And the subject of that experiment was a person named Jaden Reed.
Oh.
Oh. Huh.
And that is Anima, I Want to Be Sedated.
I do want to be sedated.
Yeah.
I need to lay down.
Yoinks.
That was so
Now-
fun.
My
Oh my
head is
God.
exploding right now.
That was awesome,
Wow.
Eddy.
That was
Yeah,
very
Eddy.
cool. I am so super stoked for the release of this game.
Yeah, that was awesome. I am. It was really fun too to turn off all my meta knowledge of the book as much as I could and just try to go with it and like act like I did not know at all what's happening. And I was like, this
Yeah.
is great.
I do
Yeah.
want to say a little bit for people listening to this, the jihad and what's going on with the jihad. We're touching on a little bit. That is one of the core mysteries of the game. So the book will actually go into more detail about that. One thing I would ask is if people haven't heard this show and you're turning them on to Anima, maybe not mention that piece of it, just mention that people are missing, because I think that's one of the cool things about this game is that there is this underlying mystery. And the idea that it could be the FSA doing it, could be this other group doing it. You don't know who's behind it or what's going on, but finding that layer of something weird's happening in the game that's taking control of people. If you go into that blind, like most of this group did, that's a lot more fun. So
Yeah, absolutely.
treat it like a spoiler for your favorite movie or TV show. It's like, trying to kind of keep it quiet and let people discover that mystery for themselves if you can. But there's also more layers beyond this. There's stuff that even the people on the stream don't know beyond this, and maybe we'll do this again in the future. I don't know, but that's why I left some dangling threads there.
Yeah.
100% for that. I will say, as a longtime Trinity, been playing it since the game came out in the 90s.
Mega fan.
This has been a very novel experience of me of encountering a portion of this setting that I don't know shit about,
Yeah.
and I love it. I am
Excellent.
so
excited.
good for it. It's got me so jazzed for
So
this book. and
you're
I'm ready
looking
for
forward
it.
to any Trinity that we do in the future then,
Oh,
once
yeah,
we finish
absolutely.
up with Adventure,
Absolutely.
because you're
Like,
like, I've seen those. Give me the new ones.
Yeah, no, Aether is very intriguing. I really want, I'm mostly interested in the lore.
Oh, yeah.
You guys are going to go into Aether, but I am totally jazzed for it.
Yeah. Just like Eddy said, he didn't answer all the questions on the stream. That's important because he didn't want to. He wanted the mystery to be there for everyone to either make up their own or talk about it with their friends, whatever. That's the part of the joy of this is like no one has all the answers.
Now, when we get around to the Kickstarter, there are answers in the book.
Yes.
And I would ask people, much like people they were doing with like MCU films, to not post the spoilers everywhere. Because it is really, really cool if only the story guide knows what's going on with this game specifically. And I think it adds to the paranoia and the overall like feeling of not knowing what's going on. So talk about it amongst yourselves if you want to, but don't like roll into the Trinity Discord in all caps, being like, "It was this all along." Like,
Divismal has arms.
Divismal has arms.
Yeah. God, spoilers, guys, come on.
But that said, we did try to structure it in a way that if you want to change what's going on behind the scenes, there's plenty. It could be the corporation, it could be FSA, it could be another group. I mean, even in this run we did, you saw there's a lot of different things. Some of those are red herrings, some are not. Which ones are which are up to y'all.
I was getting worried that it was our boss that had something to do
been.
with
It could
it.
be. It could be.
Could have been the
It could
double
be Anima
cross.
behind
We
it.
don't
Yeah.
know.
No, not the Aeon Covenant.
No one
They're
ever
so-
expects
they're
that.
They never do anything
wholesome.
wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say that people who are fans of Aeon know that AIs were banned for mysterious reasons about 3 or 4 years from now. I wonder why
Yep.
that is.
I wonder why.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But we've had a blast. If you can't hear it in our voice, we've had an absolute blast. We want to thank Onyx Path. We want to thank Eddy. We want to thank Dixie. I want to thank Scott and Ryan. I'm very happy we were able to bring this together and come to the end together. Hopefully, if you've watched all of this, you've backed Anima and you've made it go to the stratosphere, and we can get all the good content that we know that these guys can produce. So, from everyone here at Polyhedron, go where your fun is.
Go roll some dice.